Hi, I'm Debbie, and welcome to Divine Destiny with Debbie. Today, we're reading for March 25th, 26th, and 27th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, you know that I'm going to use my Radley Valentine deck. Here's my Angel Tarot cards for the main reading. I will pull in my John Holland Psychic Tarot and Oracle deck, and I'll pull one from my Emily Anderson Crystal deck. Now, for the introduction, which this is the introduction, I will use my Waite Rider, and I will pull one, maybe more, from my Osha Zen Tarot cards. I have prayed, meditated, and infused all the decks with Reiki energy. But remember, this is a general reading. It may or may not resonate. Take what you like, leave the rest. So nothing is really retrograde right now. So you would think that things would be really calm. Oh, by the way, I am an intuitive psychic. An intuitive channeler, I would say. I open myself to higher power. My job is just to deliver the message. So like all the planets, especially for Mars, everything in Mars, the planets are all going direct. Most of February, all of Mars, and then most of April until the 28th. The planets have all been going direct. So you would think, well, that's okay. That's pushing forward. Well, the thing is, the planets get close to each other. You know, we've talked a little bit about Venus and Mars. And the one I didn't really talk about too much, and this has been going on since, I would say, the beginning of March, I think until the 27th, is that Neptune in Pisces, Jupiter in Pisces, and Mercury in Pisces. Well, Neptune and Pisces have been, pretty close together, and then Mercury and Pisces, they've all gotten very, very close, especially, I would say, maybe the 23rd through the 26th, and they're all in Pisces. And, Neptune is very dreamy, very, which really works well with Pisces. Jupiter is hopeful, thing of, great fortune, good luck, which also works well with Pisces. Mercury's a little bit of the troublemaker, but he's kind of like, okay, I'm just going to go along with it. I want things to happen. I want wonderful things. Let's move with that too. The thing is, though, they're getting very close together at this point. And like all roommates, it's kind of like, visitors and fish. After 3 days, they start to stink, need to move out. Anyway, Mercury's getting a little antsy. We've all been, and Mercury is about communication, and it's like, okay, I want wonderful things, but I'm really getting very stressed, and I'm not hearing what I want. I'm not, things aren't developing the way I want them to develop. And on the 27th, I move into Aries, and Aries is going to make things happen for me. So Mercury has some really interesting things. Mercury in Aries, communication, electronics, still going direct. But it's really going to be a little bit more powerful. So Mercury will get messages out. We might hear messages. We might have some communication. I don't know. Could we have communication problems? Well, we've got all those solar storms that are happening, so that could happen too. So it's just a very interesting time. And then next week, we've got some stuff with Aries, Saturn, and a little bit further down, Mars in with Saturn also. So I kind of feel like we might have with Venus, this is for next week, or the beginning of the week, so if I don't talk about it, I kind of feel like Venus in their conjunction with Saturn, and they're all in Aquarius. Remember, I feel like there could be some revelations on the relationship side, and there could be some trust issues going on. So we'll see what happens with that. But this time, just your communication, like I said, on the 27th, Mercury goes into Aries. It's going to be a little bolder. It's going to be more, upfront. And right now, Mercury, Neptune, and Jupiter and Neptune, they're kind of like, hey, chill. And Mercury's just like that little grain of sand in your shoe. That really is just bothering the heck. So I feel some not anxiety, I feel some agitation. I just feel like, come on already. Okay, let's see what we have going on. I have been shuffling my Waite Rider, or my Rider-Waite cards. And it was interesting, I was doing this yesterday, and I kept pulling up the same cards, which were rather, I don't know, disturbing or liberating. So let's see if we pull out the same cards. I won't tell you what they were, But let's see if I do pull out the same cards. So what's happening for the universe? What can we talk about with the universal energies? Here we are. Glasses so I can see. Take a moment. Please like, share, subscribe. Click on the bell for notifications. Got that out of the way. So I'll say it again at the end too. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. And remember, like I said, this is the introduction. I will put a timestamp in the description so you can bypass if you're ascending, rising, moon, Mars, Mercury, who did I miss? Venus, any of those that you know, in your natal charts, if you have those in there. Okay, let's see what we've got going. First card is, well, that one kept coming up yesterday too. The Hermit. The Hermit, and my nose is itching. The Hermit is a 9. 9 has, you have all the information you need. Wrap it up. Let's get things done. The Hermit is about taking a step back. Is about, again, I'm always going to be talking about connecting with your higher power. This is a major arcana card, and whenever you see the major arcana card, it's a very spiritual card, and it's to kind of wake you up to what might be needed to be doing. Okay, the Hermit is, the Hermit's not a crazy person hiding in a cave. The Hermit is taking a step back, looking for his light, looking for his guide, looking for what is my next step, where am I supposed to be going. Connecting again, meditating, praying with the higher power, guardian angels, whoever that is for you. So let's see our next card. Okay, I like this one. This showed up a couple of times yesterday, but not a whole lot, not as much as the Hermit did. The King of Pentacles. Now, you know that whenever I talk about the court cards, they all have underlying energies. Page's underlying energy is Earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Knight's underlying energy is fire, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Cup's underlying energy is, so that was the Knight. Queen's underlying energy is Cups, which is your Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And then we have King's underlying energy, which is Sword or Air, which is Aquarius. So that, that might be going on for next week. But it's also Gemini, and it's also Libra. So we have the underlying energy is our air energy. It is very focused, very much planning. Air energy is making your plans, seeing the pathway, seeing what you need to do. Very, very linear type of thinking, but very brilliant type of thinking. Pentacles, though, so this is a king that really can see what the next steps are. But Pentacles is that earth energy, again, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. And that is about your, your money, your job, your career. The King of Pentacles is could be a very professional person. It could be a person in leadership, a person that has to deal with money. It could also be a subject matter expert. So there's something going on between the two here, the Hermit and then the King of Pentacles. Not quite sure where we're at with this. But the King of Pentacles does provide for many. Okay, next card is the Emperor. Now, the Emperor was also there a lot yesterday, too. The Emperor is, again, a major arcana. It is a 4. 4 has a, basically, it is leadership, organization. It also has some stability to it. Now, the Emperor has a couple of different types of feel. The Emperor and the King, okay, you would think of them as peers, but the Emperor has a little bit more of a power, has more power. The Emperor has, a lot of times to me, is more of the masculine side of the divine, of the source. Now, the Empress brings a lot of the feminine side, and the Emperor brings a lot of that masculine side. There is ruler here. There is a very sharpness. There is a very much a judgmental energy here, but yet at the same time it is based upon understanding too. So there's something going on this weekend. These two, this one is about money. This could be a doctor, lawyer. This could be somebody also in politics. It could also be a subject matter expert. This one, I get a very ruling type of energy. We have the Hermit. The Hermit has to step away. The Hermit has to connect to higher power. I am feeling like I need to pull 2 more cards, so let's see what else we might have. Sneaky Snake did come up a couple of times yesterday. Not a whole lot. I would get more of the Seven of Swords, but Five has change energy. This is sneaky snake. This is kind of watch out. Not everybody can be trusted. This one came up a lot, the Three of Pentacles. This was provision. Three has power. Three has, the power of three. It's also celebration, creativity. This was getting provision, but this was going to ask for provision, and somebody that was in authority, possibly the Pentacles or the King of Pentacles or the Emperor, was providing. But this was provision. But there was sneaky snake. Sneaky snake, we just got to watch out for that because there's things going on. And this could go into what I was talking about the next week, where I'm saying that there could be some trust issues. Okay, next card is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups, very powerful, very positive, very much I am going into a better place. And again, Knight's underlying energy is fire, so it's passionate. And Cups is our water energy. So it's also very fluid, but it's also very powerful in its I want what I want, what I want. Okay, so the cards I've been looking for did not pop up, so I'm really happy with that. Let's see what we have, though. These three did come up a lot. This one came up a lot, too. The Seven of Swords was the one that was really, really coming up, and I kind of feel like the Seven of Swords is sneaky snake a little bit on steroids. It's a little bit more. It's like this one's just kind of waiting and seeing, and again, sneaky, 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 where the Seven was very actively sabotaging. So, didn't come up. I'm okay with that. So let's go on here and see what we have to see. Awareness. Guilt. That one kept coming up. Maturity. I like them. They are all reversed. Reversed has a stronger energy to me, so let's pay more attention. The awareness. Now, we are into Aries season. We have passed that time with the veil, with spring. Now, it was interesting. I know this is just one of those anecdotal information, but it is interesting that in the Julian calendar, March 25th was the day of the equinox. So, just to say. So here we have a 7. 7 has the divine umbrella, divine intervention, divine interference. This is an awareness. This is, and remember, I look at Osha Zen Tarot more as words of advice. So this is to increase our awareness. This is to break out of our cocoons. This is to leave the shadows behind. And as this veil, as this, whatever this is, membrane is being pulled apart, leaving behind the dark energy, the dark, the anxiety, the guilt. And if you look, the person has peace. And the person the person actually appears to be, just to be like, okay, I have a better understanding. Now, we have 8. 8 has unlimited opportunities, unlimited possibilities, but this is all about guilt. So what is it that we're going to be feeling? What is it we're going to be finding out? Well, who is it? Is there going to be someone that's going to be very guilty? Is it ourselves? Is it someone in the universe? But this is guilt. This is racking our brain. This would be kind of not necessarily your 9 of Swords, where 9 of Swords is just kind of like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? But this has that guilt energy. This has that, that looking back, looking at past deeds, looking at how we've come to where we've come to, and just not necessarily liking how our path was. We can change our path. We can change our where we are going, how we are connecting. Guilt. If you learn from guilt, or if you learn from situations that have stimulated your guilt, you will know then that guilt then becomes a useless emotion that you really need to not carry with you. But that's if you've learned from it. And yet, we have the next card, which is maturity. It does not have a number, which actually helps to tell us that we do learn. We do learn. So we've got some interesting energies. I'm very happy that we didn't get the energies that I was reading yesterday, because it was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with this one? And it was just an interesting read. So these are the things, basically, look around, come out into the light, see what actually is happening. Let let this guilt leave. It's only trying to hold you back. You can see these little hands are trying to really, keep this, whoever it is, it's trying to hold on to. So these, and remember, we're in the waning part of the moon, so it is a good time to release. There are flowers, there's a beauty beyond the guilt. And here we go into maturity, which means we are spiritually growing up, spiritually connecting. It's not just in our age per se, but it's in our spirituality that we need to, we need to do the connection. We need to basically come to a point where we know that many things we can't control. Some things we can. We can control how we react. And, sometimes we just need to take some deep breaths and say, this is what it is, and what am I supposed to do while I'm in this? So, interesting stuff. The cards I was looking for did not pop up, so I'm very happy about that, though it did mean that there was going to be something that was changing quite dramatically, and that's okay too, as long as it was in the positive. Okay, which it was, so that was a good thing too. Anyway, I will, hopefully this means something. I go back to this the most. We need to step back. We need to reconnect, but we also need to, regroup a little bit ourselves. Watch out for sneaky snake. Don't worry so much about the money situation. There will be provision. It might not be necessarily what we want. And remember, this is new opportunity. Nights are also new opportunities, but this is new opportunities in romance, also in love, and in passion, and in things that we find important. Okay? Okay. So why don't we start our readings, but again, to like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We'll start now. Hello, my Libras. How are you doing? How is this energy getting to you? Are you feeling a little bit antsy, or are you starting to calm down a little bit, making your plans? Okay, let's see what the weekend has for you. I kind of feel like next week's going to be the interesting week for you, but let's see how we get through this weekend before we look into that. Okay, here we are. 1, 2, and 3. Nothing is reversed. Very straightforward for my Libras. That's how you like it. Tell me the truth. Just tell me what I need to know. All right. First card is the Magician. Okay, interesting, because Gemini got the Magician too. So if you have Gemini in any of your natal chart, your rising, ascending, moon, Venus, Mars, Mercury, take a look at that. But the other thing, though, is that I'm feeling with you, Gemini's was more in this place, so it's kind of like we're getting ready, now you're ready. This is this goes into you are ready now. You want things to be changed. You want to actually be the one to, I feel like you want to be in more control of your destination. You want, it's like, no, where I've been kind of like letting things happen. I've been, letting the universe take over, and now I want a little more control over this. I don't like where the universe has necessarily brought me to. It's not a bad place. It's not a bad place, but it's kind of like I want a little more. And is this what life has for me? I'm getting that type of energy. And life does have more for you. The universe has more for you. A lot of times we have that thing, oh, it was meant to be. It was meant to be. And yes, there is a lot of that energy out there. But sometimes we can be very passive in taking our control of our own lives. So the Magician comes in. This is Archangel Raziel, number 1, new start, new beginning. The Magician says, hey, how's that been working for you? Do you want to take a little bit of the power back? Do you want to, or not necessarily take the power back, or do you want to connect with the higher power? Do you want to connect and use some of that energy to make something a little bit more for you? Now, my Libras, you like things balanced, but you also are wonderful planners. So this could be that time for you to, again, I need to take a little more control. I've been letting a lot of other energies, not saying people per se, but I'm allowing a lot of other energies to kind of like floating me like that leaf or that feather, and it just hasn't been. I just don't feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. Again, so and there's been a very common theme running through a lot of the signs for this weekend. There's like this change. It's a change up type of energy. And again, for you, my Libras, there's this change. You're ready. You're ready to take a little more control, as much as we can take back of your life. Okay? And the Magician, Archangel Raziel, says you are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. Life is magical. Tap into the magic. Tap into the magic, my Libras. You go back and forth with that. There's a lot that appeals to you, but then there's a lot that just kind of overwhelms you. Tap into your own magic. Tap into your connection with higher power. Next card is Unity. So we have a 1551. Archangel Sandalphon, believed to have been Elijah, the prophet of old. Unity is also the Hierophant, and the Hierophant always kind of is about government and the business of government, the business of religion, and it's kind of says, hey, maybe there's some expectations of you that are very standard, but maybe it's time to do something a little different. Now, Unity in itself has that. Maybe it's time for you to step outside of what is traditional for you. I'm not telling you to do something that's not moral or legal, not illegal, nothing like that. But maybe it's the saying I say. If you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. So the Unity is kind of asking you, is this a time for you to step out of the traditional ways? Let's put it that way, not values. Now, I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm not telling you to, make drastic changes. But sometimes a little change can make bigger changes. Okay? So this is traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations. Seek out mentors and like-minded friends. So maybe you need to seek out people that actually, just a little bit different. It's kind of like it's time for maybe a little change up in your walk. Instead of, maybe you take a walk every day and you take the same route. Maybe you need to, instead of going clockwise, maybe you need to go counterclockwise. Maybe you need to just kind of take a different path for this time around. This would be a really good weekend for you to do that. And I'm using that as an example. It's, time to be a little different. Next card is the Page of Earth. That came out also in Gemini 2. Page of Earth does have some changes in your job. Earth. Page is Earth. This is Earth. And this is, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. This has changes in your job. This has trying to find a new experience, a new route. I'm kind of getting, again, maybe I'm on that path thing, that walking thing. It's look at things a little bit differently. The Magician tells me, again, you've got everything you need. So it's kind of like, whoa, what am I supposed to do? What I'm supposed to do? Well, you've got everything you need over here. Do it. I do feel some reconstruction with the Page of Earth. I'm kind of getting like a building of a house and, like looking at architectural plans and just saying, well, what if we move this window over here a little bit? So there is this change up in what you're actually doing with your hands. Now, is it an actual house? It could be. Or is it the architect of your own life, the plans of your own life? I just feel this is a good weekend for these change-ups, okay? So the Page of Earth is scholarly, dependable, patient, successful. Good news about financial matters, wanting to do something more challenging, a new area of study. So let's see what we've got with the John Holland. So I do feel that this is, I'm not telling you to be radical. I'm not telling you to, necessarily break ties. That's not what this is about. But it is about making some small changes or, just being a little bit different. Maybe it's time to walk that different path, whatever's been kind of calling you. So small changes lead to bigger changes, bigger rewards even. Okay, let's see what we've got here with the John Holland Psychic Tarot and Oracle All right, this has popped up a few times in some of the readings. Can't remember who that is, but this is an 8, so we have a 158, 851, 8 unlimited opportunities, unlimited possibilities. This is, what I'm getting with this for you right now. This is you sailing your own boat. This is you taking control, more control than you have been doing lately. So this is positive movement forward, but with this, it's like, here, this person, not even sure, male, female, but this person is alone in this great body of water, lake, it doesn't look like a river, lake, ocean, I can't tell you, but this person is taking control over their destiny. So this is one of those weekends where, do we really have total control? No. I do go into the soul contracts. I do have a belief in that we come down, we come down knowing what we're supposed to be doing, where we're supposed to be, and then, of course, it disappears in our brain, and we're like, what are we supposed to do? But this is one of those times that, and you've had a few of these, and you've had a lot of these in your life, but this is one of those times that the universe is trying to give you some nudges into taking a bigger part of your life, okay, and not letting others, not letting others be your wind to your sails. Okay, hope that makes sense. Like I said, it's best that I try not to make to put too much of myself in. So my Libras, let's see what we have here. What crystal or energy would be helpful for you? Reversed, Celestite. Always, Celestite is wonderful. Communicate with your angels, with your higher power. You do have, like I said, Raziel, Sandalphon. Communicating with angels, tranquility, good fortune, deep meditation. So let higher power, higher source, maybe, what is it? I don't sail, but, the rudder. So maybe together you can connect and sail your sails. Okay, so my Libras, this does feel like you take more charge. You take charge more so in your direction. Okay, my Libras, take a moment to like, share, subscribe, click on the bell for notifications. As always, though, my wonderful Libras, know that you are loved, stay shining, and be blessed. Bye-bye.